Now you guys know I love my new Baja Designs lights. Well, today we're doing just a bit of a security mod to keep them safe. Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everyone. Today we are going to do a bit of a security mod for my Squadron Sports from Baja Designs specifically. These do come from the factory with regular hardware, which of course a thief can simply remove. So we're going to swap that out with some security bits, which obviously they could still be stolen, but with this special hardware on that most people aren't going to just have on their person, it's unique, it's harder to find. Obviously that's the name of the game when you're talking about preventing stuff from getting stolen on your truck, is to slow down the thief and make it as difficult as possible for them to grab your. Now I already tested all of this here on the passenger side one, got it exactly how I want it. I'll go over the process here on the driver's side with you. Very straightforward. Now Baja Designs, they do sell a kit for this, which only includes 2 of the security bolts and the actual bit you need to remove them. They are charging $20 for that, which is ridiculous. I actually got the bit on Amazon, which I will of course link to below, and the hardware, I could not find that on Amazon. I actually went through McMaster Car, which if you've never used them before, fantastic site for hardware. I'll link them below as well. And if this is your first time stopping by the channel and you love everything Tacoma related, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, subscribe now. Here is one of the bolts used. I think it's called a spanner bolt or something like that. It's like a super long, complicated name. And of course the number 14 bit used to take them off. I'll actually be using some vice grips to get one of the bolts off. I'll show you that in just a second. 10 mil ratcheting socket and a 10 mil socket, and that's about it. And if you guys pick up one of these thread testers like you see at like Home Depot or something, I got this one specifically from Lock and Lube. I'll put a link in the description below. Definitely a good thing to have in your tool bag. You can figure out, this has metric, standard, you name it. All the most popular sizes you're probably going to find with your light bars. You can figure out what the hardware that came with your lighting application was to figure out the measurement, thread pitch, all that for what you need to grab some of those security bolts. Now what I'll be showing you today specifically applies to the Squadron Sports, but really you can use this technique for pretty much whatever LED lights or off-road lights you have on your vehicle. You just need to determine the bolt size so you can get the appropriate size security bolts. And if you did not know, the Baja Designs Squadron Sports, there are 2 bolts holding it here on the bracket, one there and then one on the bottom. And then actually there's a through bracket here on the inside of my bumper. Not sure if it's going to show up, it's right under there. And aside from actually just being plugged into the power source, that's all that's holding it on the truck. I'm going to go ahead and replace all 3 of these bolts with those security bolts just to make it a pain in the ass for anyone trying to steal these bad boys. And I like to go ahead and to remove this to get the actual light loose on that bracket so I can get my 10 mil wrench in here on this bolt and use the ratchet on the other side to go ahead and remove this. And got the light off the truck. Just wanted to show you, this is the orientation that the bolt holding the whole thing onto your bumper. That's the way it goes. I'm actually going to reverse this with the replacement security bolt. This bolt is a little shorter. I'm going to be going at it from the other side because otherwise I just wasn't able to hold this with the vice grips on the security bit since the actual light body is in the way. And I didn't want to mess with the fact that getting these bolts on when this bracket is already on the truck is just going to be more of a pain than it's worth, so that is the way I'm doing it. And next up, got the bottom part removed. Next we are just going to swap these regular bolts on either side. They are the same with the new security bolts. The trick here is just to be careful because on the inside of this there's like some little gears, I don't know what they're called, they bite down. Gear washers, something like that. The trick is just to remove the bolt, hold everything in place so none of that on the inside falls out, and just swap it out. Alright, got that one started. Just to hold everything in place, flip it over, do the exact same thing on the back. And I think I did forget to mention these are M6 by 1.0 by 16 millimeters long that I'm using here today. And now I do have both of the new security bolts tightened down. You want to sort of tighten them down to the sweet spot where you can still easily move this bracket, but not loose enough so the bracket's just flopping around. We want to be able to rotate the light out of the way so we can actually attach everything on the foot of the new bolt we're going to install in just a second. And here's how I have the Squadron Sport oriented as far back as possible. You feed the new security bolt through your bumper in to get all the hardware on. It's sort of a pain. The easiest way I found is to hold the bolt head on the inside of the bumper with your thumb, then reach your fingers over the top, at least for my bumper, like this, and I can hold the bracket so I can keep everything lined up. It's a pain, and it's probably extremely difficult to do on a colder day. I got that finger tight. And next I'll use the vice grips to hold these security bits, since using it on my screwdriver stock is not really an option with the winch back here. So I'll hold that on the inside of the bumper and use my 10mm wrench holding this in place and get everything tightened down. And of course, after tightening down that center bolt, go ahead and get these into position, making sure they're lined up however you want. I'm trying to keep mine like, I guess, 90 degrees to the ground there, and go ahead and tighten everything down, and you are it. You just made it that much harder for some thief to grab your stuff. Alright everybody, that will do it for this video. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know if you plan on doing something like this to help secure some of your light bars or light pods, whatever you want. And let me know which specific lights you're trying to secure. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.